Tonight, traffic finally flowing smoothly again on the I-15 near Stateline. Earlier today, though, a much different story. That all too familiar post-holiday bumper-to-bumper crawl back to California as I-15 goes from 3 lanes in Nevada down to 2 in California. It is a problem one Nevada politician says California must address and must address now.
I'm ready to go out there with a shovel to show that we care about all of you from California. We want you to have a great time.
Las Vegas Mayor Carolyn Goodman knows no one has a good time sitting in traffic. This Memorial Day, those heading to Southern California were stuck in a 12-mile backup in Nevada to the California line, in addition to other slowdowns inside California.
Backed up so long, so deep, taking people what should be a 3.5-hour drive to 4 hours, 9 and 10 hours.
Mayor Goodman knows that leaves some visitors saying never again, less likely to make a return trip.
Selfishly for us, it is tourism, it is the convention business.
A promise to expand a 5-mile stretch from Stateline to the agricultural inspection station is one California has already made.
And it will be done by this summer, and I'm holding them to account. That's on me.
That was December 2021. California Governor Gavin Newsom at a press conference off of I-15 with then Governor Steve Sisolak. So far, only 1 mile has been completed.
They need to get their acts together.
Mayor Goodman says while lanes have been expanded on the Nevada side, the need for California to make changes has been an issue since her husband was in office.
It'll be a quarter of a century we're screaming in California, come on, do something.
She hopes the Californians who end up stuck in traffic because of the insufficient interstate take that time to ask for help.
Call on your elected personnel and tell them, get Caltrans on board.
And after pushing Caltrans for answers for 2 months about when the promised expansion will take place, they sent Fox 5 this statement. Plans to improve traffic conditions in the area include opening of a 3rd southbound part-time lane for 5 miles. The timing of opening the lane is still being determined as Caltrans works with our federal partners and the Southern California Association of Governments on the necessary regulatory approvals.